disconnected.
Okay guys, I was wanting to make a video of 5 things I hate about the Honda CRF250L. I already made one about 5 things that I love about the Honda CRF250L, but I thought, well, let's do one of the hate ones. And it's really a tough one because I can't say that I hate anything. I can dislike something, not necessarily hate it, or not care for something. Doesn't mean I hate it. And also you have to factor in that when I bought the bike, and I don't think a lot of people do, but they buy the bike expecting a dirt bike, full blown, with turn signals, street legal. You know, more like the 450 would be. But I had no intentions, of that. When I bought this, I knew exactly what it was. I knew it's going to be a mild-mannered, soft suspension, not a great power, but plenty of power for on and off-road, and that's exactly what it is. So it's going to be difficult to really think of anything that I hate, something I dislike. Maybe that it would be better geared from the factory, to where I think when you go factory stock 1440 sprocket setup, it's a little bit high geared, and I changed my rear to a 42, which it does gear down a little bit, but it gives it a little more power on top end, so it actually runs out better and seems to go just as fast. It don't really seem to slow it down, because it actually, you can use that power on the top end when you're in high gear. So that would be number one of something that I don't necessarily hate, but could be better. Second thing that could be better, if you're more into off-road and less street, would be the tires. The tires are actually decent. Some people will just absolutely hate them, think they're the suckiest tires I've ever had, but that's not true. There you go again with saying that you're expecting motocross tires on a dual sport that's, if it's going to be made good, it's great for highway, it's not going to be great on dirt, or vice versa. You got to have a happy medium. So these tires they're not great on the highway, and they're not great on dirt. They're okay at both of them. So I guess I could throw number 2 in as the tires. Number 3, and I should say probably the suspension, maybe a little soft. Not necessarily the softness of the suspension as much as the adjustability. It would be nicer if it was more adjustable. You could adjust the compression and the rebound and dampening and stuff would make it a little better ride, and an easier way to access it to adjust the rear shock or the front suspension. It's hard to adjust that rear shock. So we could put the third as the suspension, even though I still say that it's like everything else. The suspension is what it is, because the bike is made street and dirt, and it's okay on either one. Fourth, and none of these are actually in order, so fourth, boy, that is going to be a tough one. Fourth one, I guess I could throw in the ugly mud flap on the back. I don't like that. I don't like that mud flap hanging down, so I took it off and took off that big turd looking LED, or sorry, not LED on this one, that turd looking taillight, and put on a TST taillight and fender eliminator. So that could be fourth, but I'm running out of things to think of. I tell you, the number one worst thing I hate about the CRF250L, and it's not necessarily a hate, but I'm telling you, I don't like it. I didn't like it on my first one, and I didn't like it on this one. So this may be the 5th one I mentioned. It's probably the number one worst thing to me was the seat. The seat on the thing is so soft. And maybe on guys that are lighter weight, but I weigh 230, 35 pounds. So when I'm going down back roads with that stock seat and sitting and hitting potholes, I mean, I kind of bottom out, just feel like I'm hitting the seat pan because it's so soft. So there's 5 things. Like I say, there's other things that you could complain about. You could complain about the power. It's not a powerhouse, but you know, it's okay. It is what I expected. It's what when I bought it, I planned on it. Same with my other one. I already knew about what it was going to be. I had an XR250L back in the days. I've had other XRs and other L models. I've had lots of dual sports. So I kind of figured out what it was going to be, being a 250. But at the price range and what you get and the dependability, it's a great bike. I'm super happy with it. I cannot say that I'm really hate anything about it. I really love the bike. It's been wonderful. It fits me perfectly for commuting back and forth to work, and just all in all, being a great bike to go on back roads and go on fire trails, and even I've been on some pretty good rough off-road stuff and ledge rocks and creek beds, and it just does a fine job. Thank y'all for watching Woodzman Adventures. Click the thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget, everybody forgets to click that thumbs up, but please do that for me. Check out my Amazon store. As I said, I get paid a little bit on my Amazon store. It's not much, but it does help out my channel. So if you go to my Amazon store, I got lots of the stuff that I mentioned, and then I have most everything that I have on here, I have on my Amazon store. And you can all check it out, purchase your stuff there, because it's probably the best price you're going to get anywhere. But I appreciate all you guys. Right on.